James Carpenter with Country Living. Welcome to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. Good morning everyone. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about rocks of all things, landscaping rocks or actually placing them on your property for appearance. I know some people really like rocks, other people could care less. But if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you like rocks. So let me show you what I've done around my property with rocks, and maybe there's an idea or two that you can use. So we're going to start. That's a deck porch up there, and that's the root cellar. They are in some of my other videos if you want to take a look at those. All right, so this little project here has quite a few rocks. Okay, the steps are actually called Flagstone rocks. They came from a local quarry. There is a chunk of concrete there, but I recycle about everything. That's a nice looking rock. And then what I did is I put down a barrier to keep the weeds from growing through the rocks. And I put them on the hillside, so we have the landscaping rocks for the steps. And then we have a row of rocks on the left side of the steps. And all that leads up to the railroad tie steps, which take you up on the deck porch. All right, these are, I'm going to call them artificial rocks. They're concrete with some dye in it to make them appear to be like flagstone rocks. We use them on the front of the auto repair shop just to improve the appearance of the building. So they typically call those lick and stick rocks. This is a nice little rock. It's placed on the corner just to keep people off the grass. All right, here we have flagstone. So basically there's a culvert pipe runs underneath, and the flagstone is just there to protect the end of the culvert pipe. On the other side of the culvert pipe, we have a nice looking piece of flagstone there. Now, this area here is just a little garden out in front of the shop, and it has obviously that big rock there. This is a giant piece of flagstone. Now, on the flagstone rock, I have a variety of other rocks on display. Some of that's actually petrified wood, but it's turned into rock. Okay, then we have another rock here. We have the big rock here that came out of the fence row. This rock, my daughter brought back from out west. She got it somewhere in the desert. There's a little rock hiding down there, and there's a few rocks right through here. Now we're gonna walk towards the other property. And along the sidewalk here, you're going to see these two rocks. And probably can't see it in the video, so I'll walk over there, but there's a couple rocks out there. There's the big one up on the hill. We'll get a close-up of him here in a minute. And this is another piece of flagstone. It came from the local area here in Ohio. Now, I used to call that the coffee table because it was so flat that you could set a lawn chair there and set stuff on it. But I came across this concrete looking stuff and made this a little bit decorative. There's a piece of sandstone here that's got some carvings on it that I thought was pretty unique. And now we'll go over here. We'll look at these two rocks. There used to be trees where these rocks sit, and the stump grinder ground up a whole bunch of wood chips, and I just set the rocks on top and basically did two things. One, it instant mulch around the rock. This one's actually got a lot of grass blowed up on it. And then we've got this one. The farmer actually drug it out of his field and set it by the edge of the road because he didn't want to hit it with his tractor. And I've got a relationship with the farmer, so I knew he wouldn't care. I went down there, wrapped a chain around it, drug it up here and put it in the yard. And then we've got this little standalone rock here. All right, so let's go over and see the giant rock. The giant rock came out of the fence row. The farmer was clearing trees, and he told me about this giant rock that he was going to take his bulldozer and just bury it. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Can I have it? And he goes, oh yeah, you can have it. So he took the bulldozer and pushed this giant rock from that field behind me where they see the beans. He pushed this up here using a bulldozer, and it's been its home now. So I saved it from being buried and forgotten about. So that's a really nice rock. So let's go a little bit further here. And let's look at, got to excuse the yard. I had a skid loader in here. We just recently extended the sidewalk, as you can see. These, actually that round thing there is the lid off the old antique well, which I completely redid it with concrete rock, basically. That is an active well, probably put in the early 1800s. And I built what you see there. All these rocks have just been collected. Well, there's a lot of gravel down there too, don't count that. These rocks were all pulled from the yard. I had to reseed this entire yard. And when I did, I went in with a tiller and it started kicking these rocks up. And I just placed them over here. Okay, so now beside the driveway we have more rocks. Okay, these we just recently pulled out. They were like stepping stones. I used them as stepping stones. I'll find another use for them, but they were over here to get around that air conditioning unit, but now we have the sidewalk. So the edge of the driveway is edged with rocks. I'm going to add to this, by the way, but for now what you see is what you get. Now I'm going to put my foot on this. But basically what we have there is part of the old barn. There used to be a barn on the farm, and it's the same over here. This was some kind of a footer or something. You know, the more I think about it, the fact that it's kind of has a curvature to it, It might have been a foundation for a corn crib. We got a couple rocks there. Now, that chunk of concrete's not a rock, but it is rock hard. That's recycled concrete that we took out of this building before we poured the new floor. Okay, so now the property I'm on now I own, but it's a rental property. And the people that come to visit, if they have multiple people here and multiple cars, they would have a tendency to park in the yard. So I lined the edge of the driveway. I'm gonna wait a second, there's an airplane going over. I lined the edge of the driveway with these rocks. And that prevents people from pulling off the driveway into the yard. So basically, it's almost considered a no parking sign. Only problem is it's a pain in the butt to have to weed eat around them. Sometimes I just take the tractor and I move them with the tractor and mow and then push them back with the tractor. Okay, so now we're at the entrance to the business / residential property. And we have a couple rocks down here at the end of the driveway. We've got this one here. And on the other side, opposite of it, we have this one here. And then this is the actual sign that people see as they drive by. And again, this is that artificial stone. There's actually masonry blocks underneath and a really nice footer about 4 feet deep in the ground. And then the ducks and the planters, they came off the porch of that farmhouse over here when I purchased that property. So this is where the rocks were originally dumped. And when they were dumped, they had a whole bunch of dirt in with them. And what I did is I separated them from that pile and I made this rock wall. So basically the rock wall is nothing more than a storage place for the rocks. So we got the rock wall or rock storage. We've got all these rocks. And then back here, there's a variety of rocks I've been collecting over the years. And there's more of that petrified wood in that pile too. And then of course, those landscaping rocks are artificial rocks. Now we're gonna walk over here and I'm gonna show you the tool that I use to move the rocks around. I put that on the front of the Kubota tractor and I can stab underneath them and kind of kick them up and move them around. So I do move rocks with the tractor. So everything you see here has been moved around by me. Now this pad where you see the telephone poles, you got the rock wall, the telephone poles, I put all that recycled concrete down as a kind of a footer foundation type thing. And so this is a pretty solid pad. And all this over here is just stuff that I store. So I want to thank you for watching the video. I do have a channel. It has a variety of things, you know, just stuff I do around the place here. So if you would like, go to my channel. It's under my name, James Carpenter. And if you like the content, you want to see more of what the old man does, then subscribe. Thank you.